looking back, what were some of the more, powerful moments
Yeah.
for you?
Though I worked for the state, and I worked all over the state, I have always been based here in the Belfast, Waldo County area. And so we had one of the strongest affiliates in the state. And so I was able to go to the state office and always represent that. And I was able to go around the state talking about what we did here at the Literacy Volunteers of Waldo County. So I've been delighted, that we've grown, that we've stayed. And it was really out of this affiliate, as well as Rockland, that really innovative project of having a theater group for people who were students of Literacy Volunteers. It came out of this affiliate, really, and out of Rockland, and we went all over the state with that theater group. And there are students walking up and down the streets now that I see who came to us here and were not able to read and write, and now they can, and they were part of that effort. So those are great memories. And the other thing is that the people who are attracted to Literacy Volunteers are always very genuine, because it's not a quick fix, and so people who really appreciate reading usually have tremendous memories associated with what it was like when they first were able to read their first book. And so there was a lot of really true story sharing about what reading has meant to people in their lives. And then to see some grandparents who were coming here just because, and a lot in this area this would happen, they wanted to read to their grandkids. And now that happened around the state, but because this is where I live, I still see those people around. Mm-hmm. So that is those are good memories for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the theater work you did with the students?
Yes, I was. As we've spoken about before, they were different times, and so Literacy Volunteers was able to underwrite part of my learning of that particular type of activism, really, because the stories were so powerful that we got from students, and because they often wanted to share those stories, they came alive when they shared the stories. We decided that one way would be to get them up in front of people and to use theater techniques to do that, and that also helped them because it gave them more confidence. They felt the power of their own stories because it was reflected back in the audiences, and we were able to. We took students to the legislative body, and they performed there for all the senators and representatives all over Maine. We think we influenced policy at that time. I'm not sure we did, but I think we did, actually. We performed at prison conferences because, in prisons, you'll probably know, I'm sure you say this, that the literacy level is off the charts in terms of who cannot read, who ends up in our jails and prisons. So we had great reception there. We performed for social work conferences. We also performed in libraries all over Maine, and that was students from here in Rockland, really. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And after looking back, if you're looking forward.
Yes, looking forward.
What would you be looking forward to for Literacy Volunteers?
Well, it's a great question. I mean, to know that it's still here is wonderful because so many things that shouldn't have been cut have been cut. And I really respond. I don't respond to a lot of things. I respond to animals, theater, and literacy volunteers. It's a thing I respond to because when I hear that there's that danger, I know that it's going to really impact people, because when they make that decision, they come here, they take their heart in their hand and they say, as an adult, I need help if there wasn't somebody there. So I want to support this effort to make sure that we that you stay here and that you grow. And of course, I'd love to see the theater happen again, but that's, I think that could be a great thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
that's good stuff.
I think that's all good.
Yeah,
good.
That's really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what else can you remember?
You're doing God's work.
is amazing, the stories I hear about the students and their
Right.
lives and how smart they are.
Absolutely.
How smart they are at managing their lives. And the students are not, they are not illiterate.
No,
They're low literacy.
right,
And actually all the way up to, we're now tutoring some students who are first generation college students at the Hutch.
that's wonderful.
But equally hard lives.
Right,
What
equally hard
they're
lives,
doing to
right.
get there,
Is a massive,
and they're just trying to take like 3 classes,
right,
trying to do the impossible
Right.
over and over again.
over and over. I remember this one guy in prison, and I'd done some little bit of work in prison, not very much, in fact, I went to Maine State Prison when I was in Thomaston, and the guards, honest to God, and I'm just saying, they were the most horrible people, horrible, and I said I could never, it made me physically sick, because I felt like they did this power over thing, and it makes me sick when people do that, they, like, just for the sake of power, and they were doing it to me, because I was just some woman going in there, and I was like, ooh, my God, they probably do this to everybody, and it's wrong that they have power. But I met a prisoner, and I'll never forget him. He thought of himself as really stupid. He couldn't read. He was an older man. He was the most brilliant artist I've ever. His drawings, they were pencil, black and white pencil. They were beautiful, like amazing. He could have made a living as an artist easily. And but he said to me, I'm stupid, I can't read, and I just stay away from me. But we did end up making friends a little bit, and he started to, he did learn to read. It was very slow, but he was a guy, I can still see his face in my mind right now. All his life had been told he was stupid, and he was so not stupid. He was not stupid. So, there are people like that stay with you.
That's what we find, the shame is a huge piece of it,
Huge.
and huge barrier to them coming in through the door. I mean, there's transportation and there's shame, and they just come together, and the
Massive.
history of being,
Right, abused.
felt that you were stupid from the time you were in 3rd grade is,
It's that emotional poverty. That,
Yeah,
yeah,
when you
So-
get hit
yeah,
over and over again, and then people just start believing it,
yeah.
and then you start acting like you believe it. I did used to say this, and this might be, I used to start speeches with this, and it was maybe bullshit, I don't know, but there was a study that was done, and it was all across the country, I think, but especially Maine, the number one reason people wanted to learn to read was to read the Bible. They wanted to learn.
Yes.
And I would say, except in Lewiston, Maine, where they want to learn to read because they want to read Stephen King novels. And that was their number one reason at the time. It was like, it was the only place. It was like they wanted to read Stephen King. So I used to start my talks off with that.
Yeah, I've heard it's to read the Bible or to read to your child, or be able to help your child with their schoolwork.
Right.
As the 2 biggest
Right.
motivators.
But really, in Lewiston, all those years ago, it was so they could read Stephen King.
Really?
They were proud of him, yeah, because he came from Maine.
Yeah. Huh.
All right, kiddles.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Got some good stuff, I think, there.